Hello, friends of freedom. It's Chatty Dad 1 with you today. Well, it seems that the tyranny and oppression continues, and the push to see how far we will let this go continues. It's sad to say that it seems that we will put up with anything. Manhunt leads to massive roadblock, warrantless car-to-car searches, violating the Fourth Amendment, as well as trashing the Constitution all over the place. And this happened Tuesday morning. And nobody's raising hell about it. Now this to me is infuriating. I cannot understand why Americans will put up with this. I mean, $7,000, these guys wasn't even murderers, and they shut down, what was it? They shut down I-270 for, a good while they searched everybody's vehicles with guns, making them, pop their trunk, this and that. Where does it end? Where does it end? Well, it's not going to end unless somebody stands up and demands that this stop. And I hate to think that it's not just going to take one person to defy these bastards and end up dying, but it will take several of us who is willing to do that for freedom. Who in America is willing to do that for this country, to get our rights back, to get our amendments to be, followed and honored, to have our rights? We have the DHS buying dynamite, large quantities of dynamite. We have them buying stuff to make explosives with. We have the Pentagon spending billions on missiles, weapons of war. We now have confirmation that the government has this Sky Dreadnought. I did a video on this, where these huge cigar-shaped UFOs are, it's a black project that the government has been, using. And now they put it up in the sky over Ukraine for everyone to see, to say, mess with us, and we'll unleash this hell on you. We have the Boston Marathon now. It's going to be, people are going to be treated like, who knows? We're not free anymore, people. We're not free anymore. We have bankers by the dozens being murdered, killed, suicided, because they're, basically taking over our financial stuff, and they're fixing to flip the money around, and they're getting rid of these loose ends. This is some pictures of the scene. All these people, and not one person was willing to go through that roadblock and say, screw you. Because these guys are armed. They, are threatening with their firearms. This guy was one of the bank robbery suspects, which they were following. They knew where they was. They knew who they was, pretty much. Or they wouldn't have been able to catch them like they did. I mean, this is just ridiculous. What is it going to take? What is it going to take, people? They do this to catch 3 guys that stole some money, violated hundreds, if not thousands, of people's constitutional rights. Well, what Constitution? I believe this is inside the Constitution-free zone. And to me, that proves that it is truly the Constitution-free zone. This is Boston, Watertown, after the Boston bombings last year. A lockdown was declared to find 2 teenage kids, and this boat was riddled with bullets on one kid that was unarmed, who they slit his throat and cut out his voice box so he couldn't talk. And who knows where this guy is. Nobody's seen or heard from him. They totally locked down this whole area here. Searched all the houses at gunpoint, making people come out of their homes with their hands up. Just like this. Just like this. Where's it going to end, people? When are we going to say enough is enough? Watertown strong? I'm sorry. Bullcrap. This guy's in a Hummer pointing his AR-15 right at this chick in the window, filming him. Because she's filming him. And we have this incident in D.C. where this woman was scared because of the militarized police doing all these checkpoints, and she got frightened because she thought that the president was stalking her, and she thought this was part of the whole deal to catch her. She had a little baby in the car with her. She ran. She died. We have cameras everywhere. Is this what our founding fathers would have wanted for us? No. We have people's homes being invaded with no warrants for search and seizure. They just come on in and do what they want because they suspect there may be a terrorist. And I don't believe people know what our amendments are. This is the 4th Amendment against unreasonable searches and seizures. That's what they violated. We have free speech. That's the first one. Second one, the right to bear arms. Third, soldiers shall not make quarter inside somebody's house, without the consent of the order, in peacetime nor in time of war. And that goes for the police, too. They can't just come in your home and make a fortress out of it. Roadblock ahead. Violation. 4th Amendment, right there. Right here. We have these cameras that, are seeing people's private parts. I like this. Metallic ink printed 4th Amendment underwear. Covers up the areas there. I mean, we're being violated, guys. What's it going to take? What's it going to take? Who's going to stand? Who has the guts? Who's brave enough to stand up for our rights as people, Americans? Our children are being trained and taught that this is fine and good. See, this is the Constitution-free zone, and that whole thing took place within that zone. All of these things did. This thing was nothing more than an operation to say, look, we was able to stop these guys by doing this. That means they're going to do it again. They're going to notch it up. This was another Watertown experiment that was successful. We have drones in the skies. We have police that look like terrorists. Fifth Amendment. Sixth Amendment. I'm just showing you these so you guys might realize what amendments we have and which ones that have been violated. Every friggin' one of them has been violated, pretty much. Everyone. Like I say, who will stand? Who's willing to die? Who's willing to fight? Somebody's got to. Somebody else did it for us before. Somebody else did it for us before. That's the only reason we have what we do. Equal protection clause. Well, we know that's a lie and bullcrap because we know that police, federal officials, government workers have way more protection and way more rights than the average citizen, and especially the homeless and those who don't have names and faces because they're being put in FEMA camps. But we're going to continue to see this. We're going to see this more and more. This is what happened in D.C. when the woman was terrified and went through the roadblock. She was killed. The innocent little baby in the car seat beside her. Thank goodness it wasn't hurt or killed. But it's left without a mother. And yes, she did a little bit of damage, but why? Because her Fourth Amendment was being violated. Violation of the Fourth Amendment right here. Big one. This is what's coming, guys. Everywhere. Everywhere. They're doing dry runs. This is a dry run to see what you'll put up with. And so far, we've put up with everything that they've thrown at us. They've got drones, they've got things, they've got stuff that we can't even imagine to use against us. To use against us. They see us as the enemy because they are the New World Order, they are Illuminati, they are the ones that want to take over and possess all resources, all lands, all things, even you and I. They want to turn each and every one of us into slaves and indentured servants, which goes against one of the amendments too. I mean, they're proud of this stuff, bud. You don't think they could have followed these guys home and then got them at home instead of done this thing like they did? Of course they could have, but they didn't because they wanted to see what Americans would put up with. And it seems like we'll put up with more than they ever thought we'd put up with. We have these vehicles now that the police are using that are impervious to anything just about. Carrying out warrants and serving warrants with these things. No, they're going to use these things to come and confiscate weapons and take people to where they need to go, to detention camps, to be re-educated in how the New World Order government is supposed to run, what you're supposed to do, who you're supposed to be, what rights you don't have. Which basically, from what I'm seeing, we ain't got no rights. They keep the appearance that we do because they don't want to piss us all off. But guys, I don't believe we do. I think we're done. I think we're done. I think it's all done, but the final shoe dropping and them going and collecting up who they don't want, who they don't like. They got the voice to skull thing that they use to make people hear voices so that they'll go and get checked out by a psychiatrist, be deemed mentally unstable, and then you do not have any rights. You are done at that point. Totally. But this is ludicrous. This is ridiculous. This is not what it was intended to be. This is not what it was intended to be. They have so many things and so much force and power. Unbelievable force and power. I like this one here. But, you know, who will stand? Who will stand? Where is our 300 Spartans to stand against the evil King Xerxes? Where's our 300? I don't know. I don't know. Everyone that tries goes down. We know what's going on. We can see it writing on the wall, people. So why do we do nothing? Why do we do nothing? Out of fear? Well, we outnumber them by far. We're smarter than them. I think, anyways. Sometimes I wonder now. I think that the lithium and the fluoride and all that stuff is really doing its job in these big cities with people not saying a word. But you know, and this is the kind of people that are running this country. The kind that have ultimate power and that do what they want. Yeah, trying to get our kids. This is a cool little toy of a drone. Awesome. I remember as a kid, we used to play with the little army men. And the whole cowboys and Indians thing, too. My gosh, what a psyop that was. But anyway, this just infuriates me and it breaks my heart. It disgusts me. Who will stand? Who is willing to die for this country's freedom and our rights? Very few so far. Very few. But I'm afraid that's what it's going to take. Because everything we've done so far has not worked. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, it's not going to be a different result because the same thing has happened over and over again. So let's not be insane. We've got to switch to a new tactics. And that's just standing up and saying, no more. You can kill me, but I ain't taking no more. I hope everyone's well. I hope you think about this. Think about what's going on in our country. This is Chatty Dad 1. Never give up your guns. We're going to need them soon. It's the only thing we have left standing between us and total tyranny and takeover. God bless. Good luck to us all. Over and out.